Buddy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Lapachet, Miguel, and Antonio Barragan. We're going to talk about this weekend's fights, and let's jump right into it. This is the weekend, boys. Haney Lomachenko, that 12 people will pay pay-per-view. Andrew, we were talking about this doing our main show, and by the way, go to @FightNet Radio and go check out our whole show. This is like an insider fight, Andrew, all the way. This is not a casual person fight.
It is, but Lomachenko, very well known in America, especially with the diehards, but even some casuals know who Vasiliy Lomachenko is. Devin Haney, up-and-coming star here in America. This is really a real good test to see who Haney is.
It's a great fight.
Yeah, because I mean, and granted, if it doesn't do great pay-per-view numbers, there's nothing wrong with that. Floyd Mayweather didn't do great numbers until he got Oscar De La Hoya in the ring. So really, Haney can do good on pay-per-view. He can do bad on pay-per-view. It doesn't matter. This isn't the end spot for Devin Haney. He's 24 years old. He's in a great position right now to make one of the biggest fights in boxing if he is to get a convincing win against Lomachenko, him versus fucking Gervonta Davis, especially something we haven't brought up, or I don't know if you guys talked about it. Davis not going to jail. He's going to do 90 days at his house. Thank you, Judge. I don't know what you were doing when you denied him his first plea deal. 90 days at his house, then he's back in the gym. Gervonta Davis is now the face of boxing. He's the Mike Tyson face, but he is the face. Haney is in a perfect position. ESPN is going to blast this thing on their TV, especially if it's a great fight, especially if it's a great win. Haney will get the limelight that he's been searching for. Then they go into the Gervonta Davis. When are we going to see this fight happen? So I'm not really worried about pay-per-views. I'm more worried about Devin Haney's performance against Lomachenko. I'm a little snake bitten with the Ryan Garcia. I love these young kids. And listen, his resume totally better than Ryan's. I get that. What I'm a little nervous on, you guys, how confident he is going into this fight, right? It's like, bro, calm.
They're both Bob, right?
They're
both Bob contract, right?
Yeah. They're both Bob, yeah.
So Bob's keeping the belts no matter what. He doesn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And by the way, can I say this about the photo? How high does Bob look in this photo? How did they let this go out? Shame on Boxing Scene for doing this photo.
Bro, he might be asleep. Hey, leave him alone. It's nap time.
Soup. It's time for soup. Listen, I need soup. All right, Miguel. First outset on. I mean, for fight fans, this is kind of a wet dream.
It is. You know, when you get the best fighting the best, that unfortunately in the sport of boxing doesn't happen as frequently as we like for it to happen. You know, when it does happen, it's kind of a big deal, which is one of the reasons, and I will say is now, I will actually order this fight. It's a major deal on top of the fact that it has, you know, a solid rematch with Lopez and Valdez on the undercard. That's going to be a solid match as well. So, you know,
I actually pulled up the whole fight card.
Oh, there we go.
So we can have this discussion. So they're going to start, I guarantee, with the Nakatani, Andrew Maloney, bantamweight title. That's worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
This Murata Nakatali fight, who the fuck cares? That's filler.
Well, the Murata dude is undefeated, and the Nakatali dude is the last dude who beat the brakes off of Burchult. So,
and this is, and by the way, you should sign up for the audio version of the show so you can hear everything we talked about. Here's my take. Nico, who they bit like he's fighting another schlub. How do you not open the show, right? Why don't you go 5 fights? Give Nico the opener when all the eyes are on it.
It's the money.
I completely understand. And he's under contract, so we can make him fight 14 times in a year. I'm with you, Andrew.
Danny Rosenberg, is he related to the other Rosenberg? You remember that Jewish kid that won I think it was the WBO junior middleweight title for a quick second? That looks like his last name. I wonder if they're related.
We can Google that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are related.
Yeah, he turned into a boxing promoter over there in the East Coast.
Let's see. Well, that didn't work. I got an obituary. Sorry, people watching the video. All right, so Miguel, do we all agree rating this as a purchasable pay-per-view? At least 50% of the fights need to be above a 5, right? So you got to get a D at least on 2 of the fights. So I will rate them all out, and I will judge this at the end. Nakatani, Maloney for the vacant WBO. What letter grade do you give this?
Well, I mean, considering that Maloney's brother just last weekend won himself a belt, it's pretty significant for the other Maloney to try to get himself a belt as well. 2 brothers, with belts, twin brothers at that, which I'm not sure if it's has ever been done. Well, I guess the Charlos have done it. Never mind, they've done it. So anyway, so yeah, this is a solid. I'm gonna say a solid C plus. I'd say just to
C plus. Yeah, Andrew, letter grade.
Yeah, I gotta go C. You know what? Come on, we got to give him a little bit of credit, you guys. Give us
Why?
3-1. So I'll take it up to a B plus, man. For this day and age, it's a decent fight card. So I'm definitely buying it. I would be buying it anyways because of the main event. There's a lot on the line there.
I'm gonna say C plus, but based on YouTube, that gives it really like a B minus as the opener. That just being fair. So opening fight B minus. You're trying to sell me on buying the fight, Andrew. Think of it that way. Peralta versus Nakatali. Miguel, is this when you're actually making carne asada?
Well, I mean, I want to make.
You're going to order. This is when you're calling for pizza.
Right, precisely. This is the time I'm ordering pizza. But again, Moralta or Moratala is undefeated, and Nakatila is the last dude to beat the snot out of Bert Schultz. So these guys are gonna throw it down, and this is gonna be a pretty entertaining fight. I don't know if I can give it a better grade than a title fight than we're talking about Maloney and Nakatani. So I'll say maybe like a C minus. I'd say. But by the way, the card or the pay-per-view price on this one is only $60, so that makes it even more enticing. Not that bad of a pay-per-view price tag for we're watching here. But anyway, we'll go with a C minus on that one.
Andrew, are you in the backyard or watching the fight?
Oh no, I'm definitely watching this fight.
No. All right, letter grade. I got it wrong. Miguel would be pizza. You would be the guy in the backyard making carne asada.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what Christina will have me cook today, but I will be if I get a pay-per-view, I'm most likely cooking dinner that night. Yes, sir.
How many of the family are coming over for this one?
That one I don't know. Nobody has called as of yet.
Wow.
Nope.
See, this is what I mean. The cash don't know. And by the way, for all the cash who listen to the show, what are you guys doing? Call Andrew, book it. The food is tremendous.
You're right about that, but this is more about the future. At 24 years of age, he's already beaten Kambosos twice over in Australia. Yeah, he's coming back. He fights Lomachenko. This is the real deal right here. Like if Haney gets, he beat Lenatus.
Yeah, but we're talking about the card. I'm not dissing the fight. I'm down with the fight. I'm down with the main event. It's almost, and by the way, plug again, go listen to the podcast so you can hear my take on paying for pay-per-views. I'm going to put this out there, Andrew. If Usyk and Fury actually sign the fight, I'm flying Miguel up. I'm flying myself up. We're getting a hotel. We're coming down. We expect carne asada.
Very nice.
Might even bring Pops.
Hey,
will Pops travel? Miguel?
Pops, he doesn't fly.
Andrew Ruiz has outpriced himself and the fight.
Oh, yeah. We don't need to get into that shit. That's why I didn't put the stories up this week. It's so outlandish because Usyk got pinned into a corner about taking a mandatory. And then Fury had to fight someone, and he couldn't get anyone he wanted, including Andy Ruiz, which blew up this week. Fuck it. I can't say it enough. I really should make t-shirts that say #FightNotSigned. I mean, this year has become really, Miguel, honestly, on my whole #FightNotSigned. How many have really been signed and went down? So far, I've seen 3.
Well, we've gotten at least one solid fucking fight a
We're
month.
almost halfway through the year at this point.
I know,
I don't
but
want to
we've
be a
gotten a
dick.
couple of solid, and we're talking about May with this fight. June, Teofimo and Taylor. That's pretty significant. July, maybe the rumors of Crawford and Spence. So hey, we're
Still
getting
hasn't
one major
happened.
card. Still hasn't happened, but we're getting one major card, or at least one major fight. A month within last month with Ryan and Gervonta. So it's not looking like a bad year. One major card a year is not too bad.
All right, Andrew, final letter grade, Meralta la 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 versus Jeremiah. You say potato, I say potato.
Yeah. What I say about this fight card. Listen,
It's a filler. This is a filler. This is clearly the filler fight.
Lee, we've already said it's a good fight card. Buy the damn fight. We don't have to say anymore.
Well, no, I'm trying to sell it. You constantly tell me I am not a great promoter of boxing. I am trying to promote this card.
Steven Espinoza, there's some fights you don't have to talk. No, I'm just kidding.
Can I recommend this to everybody? If you guys don't have Steven Espinoza on your Twitter feed or social media, the guy says the dumbest shit. And by the way, he'll say dumb shit versus Haney and Lomachenko. Like, if this was a Showtime fight, we would have done this. He does that too, which to me is hilarious. How sad is it that my pop-up ad is Pasadena Jiu-Jitsu? Did anyone notice that right now other than me?
I mean, dude, my eyes go to anywhere that says jiu-jitsu, man. That's just
Jesus
how they are.
Christ. I can't even talk on mic. All right, Miguel, Oscar Valdez, Adam Lopez, sell me.
Yes, it's unfortunate that there's no belt at stake there, because otherwise they'd probably get a higher rating. But this is a solid B plus on this one. I'm borderline.
Don't sleep on Adam Lopez.
Yeah, I'm borderline calling it A minus B plus, but I think the A is probably more so for the main event. But solid B plus. This is going to be a rematch for those of you who remember. Valdez did win the first fight, but he was dropped early in the fight. Lopez was able to crack him with a sweet ass uppercut.
So this is a rematch?
This is a rematch, yep. And their first fight was a damn barn burner, and Valdez came back and won by TKO. So, hey, their first fight was awesome. This is a great fight to have on a pay-per-view, better, as a co-main event. So this is a solid B plus on this one.
Correct me, Miguel. And
yes,
I'm only watching for entertainment value. Hasn't most of the rematches for Top Rank been rather lackluster as of late?
Geez.
We've had a couple of rematches on Top Rank cards. I think Oscar had a few rematches on a couple of his undercards, trying to regain the glory. Like lately, tell me if you can correct me, but haven't the rematches sort of been, I don't want to get hit. Carbajal scenario.
It's likely, because I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I mean, right offhand, I can't recall a rematch that happened recently that wasn't as good as the first. I mean, it's most certainly possible, but I just can't think of one at the moment. But hey, it's leading me to believe that the rematch is going to be pretty solid. I mean, keep in mind, Valdez is just coming off a loss. I don't think he's fought since his loss to Shakur, so he's going to come out guns blazing. And as a matter of fact, I think so is Lopez. I want to say his last fight he lost as well. So both these guys have their back up against the wall. So I'm sure they're going to come out to throw down.
Final letter grade was B minus?
B plus.
B plus. Andrew, are you flipping the carnet? Are you watching the fight?
No, I'm definitely watching the fight. I've always liked Adam Lopez. Adam Lopez is Hector Lopez's son. For any you diehards, Hector Lopez was the junior welterweight cholo from he was tattooed from like head to toe from USA Tuesday Night Fights. He fought on USA a lot. Very charismatic. Always, he used to grab the microphone and talk, like a cholo. Everyone would get all crazy in the fucking stands.
I grew up in it. Yes, he does. I remember him well. And that's why, by the way, here's a shout out. Go listen to the audio. Miguel won't let me do it.
He used to have this move where if he wrapped he got you in a headlock.
Listen, brother. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Try to poke the eye. So, yeah, his son has kind of lived up to his dad's name. You got to say he's exciting. He's not a cholo like his dad, which is fine, but he's exciting. When he gets in the ring, it's a good fight. I'm definitely going to watch this one. be pulling for Oscar Valdez. Valdez, this is win or lose for him right here. I think if he was to take a defeat from Adam Lopez, his time on the top, it will probably be over.
Letter grade.
It's a solid B. Solid.
Wow. So we've got a B, and whatever this car crash is. All right, moving forward, which is the main event, and we will talk about betting because we have to. As a side note, before we prep up, poor Katie Taylor is going to go get the Undisputed Championship earlier in the day. Please go to DAZN, I don't know, whatever. DAZN. It's really DAZN. I mean, let's be honest. Katie Taylor is literally flying under the radar. What a great champion. Miguel, give me a Katie Taylor build-up because she's going to win an Undisputed Championship.
I mean, it's thankfully it's going to be earlier in the day. So if you do want to tune into this one, which I most likely will, since it is earlier in the day,
it's going to be like
it's not going to. Yeah, you don't have to split your time between it because I'm sure you wouldn't anyway.
Plus, Cecilia's on the card. Didn't she make our top 10 list?
Oh, did she? I don't know. I don't remember.
I thought we agreed. Well, yeah, I think we agreed that Cecilia Brækhus.
She's kind of old.
Type in nude.
Yeah.
How does that work? Oh, hot girls. Cool. Yes, I'm 18. I'm already enjoying this immensely. Oh, that's strip chat. That's not going to work.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, let's stick to the content.
Damn, career taking a turn.
This is the best video ever. If you're watching this going,
was that her fans page? Is that what you did?
Look. I don't care what anyone's taste is. That's a piece of butt. I mean, it's not comparative to Pearl, who, by the way, can I say this again? Type in Pearl Gonzalez nude. Please type it in. She's begging you to do it. Sorry, I went off on a tangent on that one. Miguel, I actually, they haven't. I feel like if I didn't think the video would get banned for her nipple popping out, I would show the video. But I mean, Cecilia Brækhus is going to get Harper's WBA. This is not a bad fight card.
No, that's not bad. No, Terry Harper is she's a name, at least over there in Europe, right? And she's fighting Cecilia Brækhus. So yeah, the two recognizable names going at it on the undercard or the co-main event. That's not solid. I mean, that's a solid card. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, back to the main event, which is all anyone cares about. Let's get to it, and we'll talk about betting. Maybe there will be. No, we're not going to do a betting show. I'm going to put this out as a video. So audio people, it's Wednesday. This is it. Final answer. We don't get to change. Yada, yada, yada. Devin Haney. This is a wet dream, Miguel. I swear to God. Why didn't we submit on this fight exactly?
We did. We didn't get approved.
What?
I said we did. We didn't get approved, though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Top Rank is running this event, right?
Yeah, but it's still Magna. It was still through Magna. Yeah, but I will though. However, I plan to make it to the weigh-in. I was trying to go to some of the other stuff going on today, but it was just too early in the day. But I will plan to go to the weigh-in, and I'll be there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we didn't exactly we didn't get the red carpet on this one.
No. The problem is the person we invested all our time with at Top Rank is now no longer there. That was a lot of coffee I bought, bro. A lot of coffee.
I bought our coffee too. I understand.
All right. Devin Haney takes on Vasiliy Lomachenko. And we need to figure out who to grease now. I've got to figure out how to get past Magna Media again. I'm going to put this out there for the audio and video people. If anyone knows how to make a decent PR piece for everyone, please let us know what would make people happy, because we have all the numbers. 5 minutes. I got to go. I got it, Andrew. So we'll start with you so you can jump out the door, Andrew. Devin Haney, Vasiliy Lomachenko. This is it. You're sitting down. You got Junior on your knee. This is going down. Tell me what I'm watching.
I'm so snake bitten. I want to go with the young guy. But The Linares fight scares me. Okay. Kambosos not as skilled as Lomachenko scares me. That goes 24 rounds. It's a great fight. It brings Devin Haney's career to superstar level. It cements Lomachenko's career. So I don't know who's going to win this fight. I'm going to stick with Devin Haney on a 12-round decision. Just think there's more of an upside to him. I think this is going to be very much a chess match that Haney, just with his youth, his skills, his speed, will be able to just stay just ahead of Lomachenko. Maybe in the same way that Teofimo did. Just the speed is just a little bit too much for the older Lomachenko to get through. Gives away rounds. So I'm gonna go 12 rounds still with Haney, but it is a very nervous fight. This isn't a walk in the park for Devin at all. Lomachenko, he's very hungry for these titles. It almost seems like he has one fight left in him. So this is still, to me, this is not a Devin facing a guy on the way out. I think Lomachenko is still the real deal.
Miguel.
So the first thing that that came to mind was comparing this fight, Loma, with a much younger dude like Teofimo. Keeping in mind that back then we're talking about a Teofimo who was knocking people out left and right, so obviously Loma was going to come in a little bit more cautious. That's not the case with Haney. Furthermore, if I recall correctly, Lomachenko was basically waiting to have surgery on his arm, which did hinder his performance to some degree against Teofimo. That's not the case now, at least not that we know, which we won't find out until after the fight anyway. But we can safely assume that is not the case right now. So that being said, the part that does concern me is what Andrew mentioned earlier, is the confidence of Haney. It's a little over the top. I mean, just watching those what do they call those countdowns on Blood, Sweat, and Tears or whatever on ESPN Plus, talking about I'm gonna make him look normal, I'm gonna make him look average, like I'm gonna embarrass him. It's like, dude, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you know who you're talking about here? Like, I'm sure Loma is going to be so fucking fast. Like, he's going to be the fastest dude that Haney has ever fought. You know, he's going to throw the combinations that he landed on Kambosos hell times. He's not going to land more than one punch at a fucking time against Loma. You know, Loma is not going to just stand there, and the dude still has his legs. It's not like he's been taking a beating, and he's not, you know, necessarily towards the very, very end of his career to say, like, you know, this dude is already gone. No. So I'm going to go out, maybe go out on a limb here. I'm not going to go for the young cat. I'm going to go for Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko starts off earlier this time than when he did when he fought Teofimo, because again, he was looking out for the power. He's not going to have to worry about the power here, at least not that I think of. So he's going to start a little bit earlier. He's going to get going a little bit earlier, and we're going to have ourselves a unanimous decision. He's going to win unanimously. So I'm going to go with Loma by UD.
All right. So betting it, Andrew. We dropped Andrew. All right. I let him off the. Is he?
Oh.
We dropped him.
Sorry. That's not biggie.
All right. So betting it, how would you bet it? I can't lay off the Lomachenko at +2.
See, I'm telling you, +2 though. Oh, that's so good.
+2 is
and it'll
strong.
go. Does it show? It'll go over what was the over under? Is it 8.5 or 6.5 or something on the? I don't know if we can tell.
So if it were me, right, the prop bets, I would take the decision. This fight, no matter what, is a decision.
Right,
I don't think there's
it goes
a knockout.
Full 12 rounds, precisely.
Yeah.
No one's getting knocked out. Yeah.
So what you're talking about, going the distance, Haney winning by decision is -170. So if you're a Haney person, at least you've cut it down by, 0.30, right? Mm-hmm. So I try to look at these things from a bet, and I like the parlay of number one goes the distance, overs, whatever the overs are. Probably 12 rounds, right? So take the overs. Number two, how do you lay off 2-1 with Lomachenko? I mean, yes, he has 2 losses. Yes, they are in key fights, but it's 2-1 with Lomachenko. And
yes,
Bob is obsessed with Lomachenko.
Dude, he's lost his two that he's lost has been against big punchers. He lost against Salido in a dirty ass fight, but Salido was a heavy-handed motherfucker, and he did the same thing. Well, not as dirty, obviously, but it's still a loss to Teofimo, who was a heavy-handed dude at 135. That's not the case with Haney. So a different story there.
Haney's pillows.
I mean,
Haney is definitely pillows.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to call it pillows per se, but I don't think he has enough pop to hurt. I mean, dude, fucking Kambosos took every one of his shots. And granted, Lomachenko's a little bit of a smaller guy, so maybe it might be the same. But still, like the fact that he's smaller, he's not going to stand in front of Haney long enough for Haney to throw 2, 3, 4 punches the way he did against Kambosos. So I don't think he has a pop to be able to hurt him, frankly.
There you go. If it were me and I were betting, and yes, I call myself out on our betting, I'm going to bet the over no matter what. It's going to a decision. Yeah, that's the straight up smart bet.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about doing the same thing. I'm going to go down when I go down to the weigh-ins on Friday. I'm going to head over to the sports book and kind of take a look and see what the odds are at that point and decide whether or not I want to put some money down on them.
Which takes us to number 2, the actual who wins on a decision. I really think Bob's got a thing for Vasiliy. I really do. We could ask him. Do you want to ask him to end the show?
Yeah, let's ask him. Oh, you know what? By the way, before we bring Bob on, there was during the press conference today, they had asked, or I forgot what the question that was asked to Haney, but Haney was talking about, how good of a job that Top Rank and Bob is doing promoting him and all this shit. But he said he wished they would have reached out to him 4 years earlier. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, yeah, you guys are doing great, but y'all should have called me up like hell a long time ago. Kind of saying like, where the fuck y'all been for the last 4 years? Like, y'all been waiting. So that's now I'm like, maybe leaning a little bit more towards Loma, Bob.
Listen, don't sleep on Lomachenko. All right, so his first loss was against the guy that didn't match up, right? We all agree on that. Look, we could have done the rematch, but it's a single. Nobody's going to pay for it. I would have had to have done it at the Cosmo, right? Nobody's going to watch that fight. The second loss is against the guy who didn't even have the balls to do the rematch. Lomachenko would have taken him. It's getting harder and harder to do, Bob. So, what you're asking me, what about Devin Haney, who I have signed to an exclusive contract for the next 654 years? Well, he and his offspring will be fighting Lomachenko and his offspring for the next 560 or 640 or whatever the math is. God damn. Dude, I can't do the voice anymore.
You got to have some hot tea with you sitting next to you.
I should. I really like that Bob voice is so hard on me. So I'm pretty much the A batter when it comes to betting on these fights. So my final answer is I'd take the overs and I parlay it with a straight bet on Lomachenko at 2-1. I'd probably wind up somewhere around 3 or 4-1 on a parlay. Would I parlay it with anything? No, I really wouldn't. I mean, this is as close to a 50-50 fight that I've seen. And here's my horror, Miguel. Mm-hmm. I'm marking it right now, even though Andrew's not here. The odds of this being a complete snooze fest are through the roof.
George Foreman has said this many times before. Boxing is just like jazz. The better it is, the less people like it. That's just how it is. So we're going to see some excellent fucking boxing, at least in the main event. Granted, it might not be, the barn burner, that we're expecting. That's why we have the co-main event with Valdez and fucking Lopez, which is the reason it's there. I'm sure that's the strategically placed as co-main event. So yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
it could wind up being horrible.
It could, yes, and the chances are pretty likely that it might. But for us hardcorees guys, yes, we're gonna be nutting in our pants watching it. So granted, it might not be as entertaining for the casual fan. I understand that, but yeah, it has the potential to be quite the stinker. Yeah,
I'm gonna hedge my bet here. If Haney wins outright or substantially, right? Like 8-4, 9-3, whatever, like a substantial Haney win.
Yeah.
At least we got rid of Lomachenko finally. Fuck.
I
I have
mean-
never bought into this 40-year-old man coming out like.
No, high tech Matrix. You didn't buy into the.
No, and I've been there live to see it, and he's fast as fuck.
Mhm.
He is fast. He is probably the fastest fighter I've ever seen in the ring. However, when he's throwing at that speed, you are leaving yourself so open, bro. You are leaving yourself so wide open.
Well, it's up to Haney to capitalize. Does he have the speed to capitalize on it? That's the question.
There you go. Again, go to Fight Net Radio. Click like, subscribe, share. We have content. I'm sure we're going to rewatch the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And for some strange reason, Facebook won't say no. YouTube will. So it'll be on our Facebook page. And we'll rewatch the fight this Sunday. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, everyone. I cannot believe the numbers. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching.